We are a radioactive conduit of divine energy, whose silent wars and hard-won triumphs generate the celestial heat of divinity, radiating a light far beyond ourselves to ignite a path of hope and a collective awakening. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome. I am Tara, and as always, it is a pleasure to be your speaker today. If you could please rise if you are able and join me in singing our opening hymn, Fill Us Now, and remain standing for the prayer of invocation. If you please join me in the attitude of prayer. Divine Presence, we gather together today in the sanctuary of the heart, turning our collective frequency to the vibration of the eternal. We stand in the profound mystery of the ancient truth, Christ in us, the hope of our glory. We acknowledge that we are not here as static observers of a distant deity, but as a dynamic radioactive conduit of divine energy, living prisms through which the light of the infinite seeks to shatter into 1,000 colors of human expression. We honor the sacred journey that brought us out of the unconscious unity of Eden and into the vibrant world of the sense and soul. We recognize that the heat and cold, the triumphs and the deepest agonies are not distractions from our spiritual path, but are the very materials of our alchemy. As we partake of the universal wisdom presented today, we are thankful for the friction of this life, the devilish whispers of fear and the heavy weights of pain, for we know they are necessary catalysts that ignite the soul's fire. We reclaim our throne as co-creators, understanding that it is our perception that turns a problem into a portal and a loss into a divine reorganization of form. Great Spirit, we acknowledge the silent wars being fought within the chambers of hearts. We honor the real ones who have sat in the dark and sometimes barely crawling, yet choosing to keep standing for the sake of love. We bless the masks that we have worn as temporary bridges, but today we pray for the courage to declare a ceasefire, not a surrender of our power, but a holy surrender of struggle. We let go and we let God, trusting that the internal storms is being alchemized into a strength that can guide others to the light. Let us be radioactive with grace. May our very atoms be so charged with celestial light that we influence the fabric of reality. Help us to see the divine presence in the marketplace, in the hospital rooms, and most importantly, in the mirror. May we move beyond a transactional faith of rewards and punishments and into a transformational faith where every shadow we encounter becomes a threshold to a deeper union with the divine. As we enter this service, we commit to the collective journey of the Christ consciousness. We choose to be the architects of a global ceasefire, beginning with our own souls. We surrender our need to be right, our grievances and our judgments. We reach out with non-judgment, unconditional love to the world, recognizing that everyone is fighting a war that we know nothing about. Let our stories be sacred maps, and our cracks be the very places where the light shines through the most brightly. May this hour of worship amplify our unique frequencies of peace and love. May we emerge from this space more deeply rooted in wisdom, standing firm in our radioactive journeys, so that all who cross our path may find the courage to see God within themselves. We take this time to pray for each other and the families we represent, both seen and unseen. We pray for all whose names have been placed on our prayer lists, for those in hospitals, nursing homes, hospices, those who are alone and those who are without homes, and those who have no one to pray for them. We as a collective congregation pray for all souls everywhere. We pray that during this time of worship that each heart be touched and illuminated with thy loving light. Let us now affirm this by praying the prayer of our master teacher. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. Now is the time that we declare our principles, which is the foundation of our faith, and they'll be up here on the screen. We believe in God as infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We believe in personal responsibility and that we create our own happiness or unhappiness as we live in harmony or discord with natural, physical, and spiritual laws. We affirm that the existence and the personal identity of the individual continues after leaving the physical world. We affirm that communication with spirit is a natural experience and is demonstrated through mediumship. We affirm that examples of prophecy and healing found in the Bible and other sacred texts are divine attributes found in all people. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And we affirm that the doorway to reformation is always open to any soul, here or hereafter. I believe in giving credit where credit is due. This is the last of this Radioactive series today. And my husband handed me this song, which was completely different from where I thought the original song was going to go. So we're going in a completely different direction, a completely different ending than I had planned from the very beginning. So a special thank you to him, because I do believe that Spirit gave this to him, and this was definitely a collective message that is needed right now. So with that said, our special music today is called Silent War by Georgia Phantom. I'm going to ask you guys to do something a little bit different today during this meditation. I'd like for you to step out of self and put yourself in a position where you're viewing somebody else, whether it be a stranger, whether it be a loved one, whether it be an acquaintance or a friend. Okay, I'm asking you to take a bigger view outside of yourself, looking at somebody else as you listen to these lyrics. Okay? So with that said, please relax and, enjoy this one.
Yeah. You think just because you don't say it, it ain't there. But some of us fight battles in silence every damn day. Ain't no tears on my face, but I'm breaking inside. I laugh with the world, but I'm dying in my mind. They say, speak up, but I choke on the words. So I write my pain in these beats and verbs. A smile's just armor when your soul's in war. I ain't asked for the fight, but I'm battling more. Can't sleep, can't breathe, just pace at night. Demons don't knock, they live in plain sight. Fighting a silent war, nobody sees, bleeding inside, but I still say I'm at peace. Holding it down with a storm in my chest, crying in silence, but still getting dressed. I'm fighting a silent war, can't call for help, cause when you're the strong one, you carry it yourself. But I ain't folding, I made a vow, I'll ride this pain till I figure it out. I lost friends, not cause they died, but cause I withdrew when I needed to survive. Told myself don't burden nobody with this, so I sat in the dark, hoping no one would miss. And yeah, I prayed, but some nights feel empty. I'm battling shadows and they ain't friendly, but I smile for my people, laugh in the room, while my mind feels like a cold locked tomb. Just for the ones who fight in silence, the ones who don't post about it, the ones who show up broken and still give their all. You're not weak, you're stronger than most will ever know. I'm fighting a silent war, wearing this mask, hoping the day don't feel like my last. Keeping it pushing even when I crawl, still here, I ain't lost it all. I'm fighting a silent war, for real ones who cry with no one to talk to, just painted eyes, but I'm still here, still holding tight. And if you feel keep standing, fight. You're not alone. You're just fighting in silence. For the ones still standing in the dark.
At this time, allow your physical form to settle into the support beneath you. Draw a deep breath into the lowest part of your lungs, feeling the expansion. Hold it for a brief second, and then release it slowly through your mouth. Repeat this twice more. With every exhale, let go of the day's weight, let go of names, titles, social classes, the roles that you play, and enter the vastness of just this present moment. Now direct your inner gaze towards the core of your chest. Imagine a soft golden warmth beginning to glow there. This isn't a blinking bulb, but a steady, brightening swell. It behaves like a wellspring buried deep within the earth. Inside you, an immense reservoir of benevolence exists. This is your true nature, a tiny ember of the great majesty that resides within every living person. It is an ancient, unshakable peace that existed before you were born and will remain long after you are gone. Feel this warmth spreading. It moves through your torso, down your limbs, into your fingertips and toes. You are becoming a vessel of mercy, filled to the brim with a liquid light that wishes only to soothe. Consider the difficult moments you have navigated recently. Allow yourself to feel those memories and the weight of the tasks that have drained you. Instead of pushing these feelings away or judging yourself for having them, wash them with this golden warmth. See those heavy feelings transforming. They are like lead being softened and reshaped into a pliable, precious metal under the heat of pure kindness. Your personal history, with all its sharp edges, scars, and tears, is currently being crafted into a beautiful tool for empathy. Breathe into the realization you are not just mending yourself. You are preparing a gift for the planet. Every sigh of relief you take is a relief for the entire family of light. As this golden warmth fills your entire being, visualize it extending outward. See it flowing past your physical edges. It moves through the floor, through the walls, and begins to cover the neighborhood like a gentle morning fog. Every person sleeping or waking in the buildings and places around you is touched by this invisible river of affection. You are giving without saying a thing. You are offering a silent blessing to the stranger next door, to your enemies, to your friends, and to your loved ones. Your presence is becoming a soft breeze that cools the fever of the world's frantic pace. Now let your visualization expand further. See your city from above. Imagine thousands of these golden rivers flowing through every window, meeting in the streets and merging. We are all contributors to this vast ocean of gentleness. Picture the hospitals, the schools, the homes, and the workplaces. Send a concentrated wave of this healing warmth toward those who feel forgotten, discarded, or alone. Imagine the lonely, the elderly, and the displaced, subtly feeling a strange, inexplicable sense of being seen. They are being held by the collective goodwill that you are helping to build. Feel the connectivity between you and your heart and the heart of someone you have never met. This is the invisible thread of our togetherness. Think of those who oppose you. Think of the faces associated with conflict, disagreement, or anger in your life. And with a brave breath, send this same golden warmth light to them. Recognize that underneath the armor of their hostility, there is the same frightened, yearning core that lives in everyone. They too are carrying burdens that have made them hard. You're not agreeing with their actions. You're acknowledging their shared journey through this difficult life. By choosing to offer love and understanding instead of bitterness, you are ending a cycle of suffering that has lasted for generations. You are being a bridge builder in the most profound sense. Broaden your view until you see the entire blue sphere of our earth, suspended in the dark velvet of the cosmos. See the continents and the vast blue seas. Imagine a shimmering net of gold wrapping around the entire globe. This net is woven from the individual acts of kindness and the internal prayers of billions of people. This is the true brotherhood. Every human being on this planet, regardless of stature, class, race, or history, it is a vital knot in the tapestry. We are a single organism of breathing life. Focus on the regions where there is unrest, where the ground is soaked with tears. Visualize the golden warmth descending like a soft, cooling rain over those areas. Imagine it damping the heat of rage and providing a pillow of grieving, where we are sending a wave of profound acceptance to all of humanity. We are wishing for safety, nourishment, and the liberation from fear. May every child be fed and tucked in with a lullaby and safe. May every adult find a place of belonging and a sense of purpose. May the environment, the trees, the water, and the animals flourish under our renewed care. Think of the ancestors who walked the earth before you. They too felt this golden warmth and passed it on through small acts of love that eventually reached you. You are a carrier of an ancient torch. You are part of a lineage of people who choose hope when the world is dark. Feel their strength supporting your spine. Now look towards the future. See the generations yet to be born. By cultivating this love within yourself today, you are clearing a path for them. You are making the world a softer place for their feet that have not yet touched the ground. You might feel small in the face of the world's vastness, but remember that the forest is made of individual leaves. You are a significant leaf, catching the sun and turning it into oxygen for others. Your internal state affects the atmosphere of the entire world. When you choose to sit in the space of high-frequency peace, you are literally changing the climate of consciousness. You are a generator of faith. Every moment you spend in the state of loving kindness is a victory for the entirety of the human race. As we begin the transition back to the chapel, keep this golden warmth active. It doesn't disappear when you open your eyes. It stays with you as you move throughout your day. You will look into the eyes of others or in your own mirror and see the same golden spark hiding there. You will speak words of encouragement because your heart is overflowing with it. Your actions will become the sermon that the world needs to hear. You are a living testament to the power of unconditional love. This physical reality is a sacred playground where you get to practice the art of boundless love every single hour. Take one more deep breath and carry this warmth out into the world. Be the kindness the world has been waiting for. You are the hope of the future, expressed in the local language of love. When you are ready, please wait till the lights are up before slowly opening your eyes. Everybody need a breath? Today is the finale of the Radioactive series. This is level 6, Radioactive Conduit. And our scripture comes from Colossians 1:27 from the Lamsa translation of the Bible. To whom God wanted to make known the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is Christ is in you, the hope of our glory. We are not static observers of life, but a radioactive conduit of divine energy whose triumphs and agonies radiate far beyond the boundaries of our skin and ignites a path for others to follow. In the quiet chambers of the human heart, there is a pulse that vibrates at a frequency of the infinite. A steady, rhythmic reminder that we are not created to be static observers of our lives, but rather dynamic conduits of divine energy that seeks to express itself through the unique prisms of our existence. We are each of us on a radioactive journey, a path so charged with spiritual potential that its radiance spills out into the lives of everyone we touch, often without us having to say a single word. To speak of being radioactive in a metaphysical sense is to acknowledge that our lives are not contained within the boundaries of our skin. Like a star that emits light across the vastness of space, the energy of our experiences, our triumphs, our deepest agonies, and our hard-won realizations radiates outward. When we choose to walk our path with an open heart, fueled by understanding and unconditional love, we become a lighthouse for those struggling to break through on their own life's challenges. Our personal individual stories on the path to radioactivity, when shared with the vulnerability of non-judgment, possesses the power to ignite the dormant sparks of hope in another. It is through this sacred transmission of truth that we move from being isolated wanderers to architects of a collective awakening. Spirituality is not merely the pursuit of good or the light. It is the courageous recognition that God runs through everything. Whether we perceive an event as a blessing or a curse, the divine presence is the underlying substance of every moment and every experience. We often find ourselves plagued by what might call devilish thoughts, those creeping whispers of inadequacy, fear, and separation. Yet from a metaphysical standpoint, these are not external enemies, but internal shadows, invitations to look deeper into the nature of reality and our current levels of understanding. They are the friction necessary for the soul's ignition. By understanding that our thoughts about a situation determine its power over us, we reclaim our thrones as co-creators with the divine. Belief is perhaps the most potent energetic force of the universe. It is not a passive acceptance of a doctrine, but a supercharged energy that has the capacity to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. When we view the mundane tasks of daily life, the hurtful stings of betrayal, the crushing weight of pain, or the soaring heights of joy, through the lens of a divine connection, we transmute their essence, and everything becomes radioactive with meaning. Consider the convergence of an idea and an intention. When a thought is born from the core of our being and fueled by holy intention, it ceases to be a mere mental abstraction. It becomes a living, breathing reality, a manifestation. This is the alchemy of the soul. By seeing God in every event, we charge our very atoms with celestial light. We no longer see a problem as a barrier, but as a portal. We no longer see loss as a void, but as a reorganization of form. This shift in perception is the unlocking of the radioactive versions of ourselves, a version that is so attuned with divine source that it begins to influence the very fabrics of the realities around us. The soul's cry, our purpose, is often misinterpreted as a desire for escape, a longing to return to a tranquil, detached state of being. But our true purpose is far more profound, to be utterly and completely open and engaged with everything that we experience. This is the essential reason why we journeyed out of Eden and into the sense world. Eden represents the state of unconscious unity, a beautiful yet unrefined perfection. By entering the sense world, the world of duality, the world of heat and cold, of joy and sorrow, we are given the opportunity to consciously choose the divine. We are here to develop the spiritual muscles required to see God face to face, in the marketplaces, in the hospital rooms, and in the mirror. Radical engagement with life is the only way to fulfill the soul's mandate. Now, there are times where we must fight battles that no one else can see. All of us have been through it. The proverbial inner struggle. This silence isn't a lack of courage. It is the weight of carrying an internal storm while still choosing to show up for others. Metaphysically, the silent war is the crucible of our transformation. It points to the soul's desperate and beautiful attempt to alchemize its suffering into something tangible, something that can finally be seen and healed. For those of us who have lived this war, who have sat in the dark, there is a unique strength that is forged. This strength is not built on perfection or the absence of fear, but on the relentless decision to keep on standing and keep on pushing, even when we can barely crawl. The mask we wear isn't just armor. It's a temporary bridge between the internal chaos and the external responsibility we feel to loved ones. But there comes a point in the radioactive journey where the internal war requires a ceasefire. It's not a surrender of our power, but a surrender of our struggle. The bravest, most courageous step we can take in this life is to let go and let God. This is not a passive admitting of defeat. It is an active, vibrating trust in the guidance received from above. A recognition that every experience we endure really is for our highest and best good, even if it doesn't feel like it. When we surrender control to a higher power, we allow the unlocking of a truly radioactive version of ourselves. A self that is no longer fueled by its own exhausted will, but by a divine, inexhaustible presence. It transforms fear into faith, not by removing the challenge, but by changing our perceptions of it. The seasons of challenges and hardships are not accidents nor punishments. They are periods of our most vital lessons. They teach us that the Creator is not a fair-weathered companion, nor a distant observer waiting for us to reach the finish line of perfection. Instead, the divine is a constant vibrating presence that walks with us through the entirety of the human experience. As a metaphysical truth, God is found just as much in the groan of a grieving heart as in the laughter of a joyful spirit. When we realize this, our perception shifts from a transactional faith, where we expect rewards for our good deeds, to a transformational one, where every shadow becomes a portal to a deeper union with the divine. The darkness is not an enemy to be conquered, but a silent architect. It is in the deep, quiet, and often painful moments that our souls are being alchemized. The exhaustion and tears of our past are literal materials being repurposed to build a new iridescent way of being. Those of us who endure this deep work are not only delivered into a greater light, but are more also deeply rooted in wisdom, understanding, and faith that can guide others who are still currently in the war. We become the real ones, who can look into the eyes of another who is fighting their own silent war and say with authority and unconditional love, "You're not alone. There is magic in the deep," and truly mean it because we have lived it and rose from the ashes of the former self. As we emerge from the depths of our own silent wars, we are inevitably faced with the world around us. A world often locked in its own battles of blame and judgment. The more awakened to the divine, we see that energy is coursing through it all. The people we see every day take on new meaning because we now can see the hurt, pain, and grief they are hiding from the wars that we know nothing about. This is when the sermon of the soul must eventually become a sermon of grace. We cannot be a beacon by pointing fingers. We illuminate by reaching out with non-judgment and unconditional love that the divine has shown us in our darkest of times. True spiritual maturity is found in the willingness to search our own souls before we cast a stone at another. It is easier to judge than it is to love, but it is love that builds the empire. I will tell you the one thing that has been a thorn in my side every time I hear it, and I hear it all the time. You can't save the world. Newsflash, I already know this. It's not about saving the world. It's about changing the world for one. If that mission is complete, then it's all worth it in the end. To bring about the Christ consciousness here on earth, it's not an individual journey. It's a collective journey. We are each fractals of the divine experiencing itself. It is not until each fractal comes together can the Christ consciousness be fully made manifest here on earth. Each of us, as a radioactive being, contributes our unique frequency of peace and unconditional love by transforming our own hurt into hope. We become the front line of a global ceasefire, a collective change. And believe me, we all know we need that now. We reach out to our enemies, our loved ones, our friends, acquaintances, and strangers, bringing them home to the heart of God by demonstrating our truths and God-given attributes. And just a reminder, we don't have to utter the sacred word. Our actions speak louder than words ever will. To live humbly and unconditionally is the ultimate expression of our radioactive nature. It is the fulfillment of that soul cry we felt when we first entered the sense world. We are here to learn that the highest form of power is not control, but surrender. It is the surrender of our grievances, the surrender of our need to be right, and the surrender of our fear. In that clearing of surrender, the words "grant us your peace" becomes more than a prayer. It becomes a lived reality and a true manifestation of God on earth. Always carry with you the awareness, knowledge, and power that our stories are sacred maps for others. Our struggles are not in vain. They are the friction that generates the heat of our divinity that then ignites a flame into the world. When we choose to stand side by side, not as perfect beings, but as broken ones who have allowed the light to shine through the cracks, we become a collective force of the silent wars we have each fought individually. We are the architects of the ceasefire and the iridescence of the divine made manifest. Let your light shine so that others may see the God within you, and may the ones around us find the courage to stand firm in their own radioactive journeys that will bring about the second coming here on earth. Soul to soul, I see you. Namaste.
How do we save a life? Pointing fingers. How can we end the fight this way? One blame is the truth we're preaching, and lies are what we're believing. No one ever wins when the goal is to settle the score. One by one we will call for a ceasefire. One by one we will fight for a better end. One by one we can rewrite the headlines, standing side by side. One by one love is building an empire. One by one reaching out to our enemies. One by one we will make it to the finish line, standing side by side. Ceasefire. I will be the first to say I'm far from perfect, but grace was made for those who don't deserve it. So easy to cast the first stone, much harder to search your own soul. No one ever wins when the goal is to settle the score. One by one we will call for a ceasefire. One by one we will fight for a
just how to live humbly, love unconditionally, transform our hurt into hope, and grant us your peace. Teach us how to live humbly, love unconditionally, transform our hurt into hope, and grant us your peace. One by one we will call for a ceasefire. One by one we will fight for a better end. One by one we can rewrite the headlines, standing side by side. One by one, love's building an empire. One by one, reaching out to our enemies. One by one we will make it to the finish line. We're standing side by side. Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Ceasefire.